Here we go. Yeah.
When I grow up. When I grow up.
Yeah.
When I grow up.
Here we go. Yeah, nigga, do you hear that? It sound like hundreds of people where the music is beating and sativa is reeking. The women are fucking, they only here for the weekend. Dive in the deep end, they want the dick and they leaving. Back to the club with the girls for the evening. Ballers by their intention and anything that they drinking. I mean, niggas are spending when intentions on freaking, but see, bitches are faking and nigga, you get nothing. Shit, hear what I'm saying? Think that I'm playing. They spinning suckers like CDs. That shit got 3 G's. Put it on TV, a DVD. They need money. Pussy costing nothing, it's free. Another round on me. We gon' burn these leaves and turn up this bitch. Pop, smoke, and sip. Talk shit, swallow spit. While the DJ hit. What I lit on our trip right after my shift. Bitches on my lips, all after my chips. Rubbing on my gun, think she holding my dick.
When I grow up, I wanna be somebody. When I grow up, I wanna be somebody. But for right now, I'm gonna party, pop a molly.
go-to guy to get our artist where he needs to be, and helping them market and promote their music videos, and everything else. That's my life.
Yes, sir, and I'm your host of GUA Radio, the CEO of GUA Radio, as well as the CEO of Underground Vision Magazine. Like to be called Real name Terrell, no gimmicks. Hold on, we have another caller. Caller, who are you and where are you from?
Hey, this is Howie from Decisive, Keep It 100 TV and Radio. I'm down here in Pensacola, Florida.
All right, how you doing, buddy?
I'm doing good, man. How you doing?
Good. Say hi to Mr. Forbes. You missed his intro of what he is and what he does, but you'll get the gist.
Hey, Mr. Forbes, how you doing?
Doing well, sir. And yourself?
Oh, can't complain. No one's listening anyway.
All right. So, the way the format for this is going, we're just going to go off questions and honest answers. Usually, honest answers will get you to flow into a conversation about what's going on.
All right. Is it just us right now?
Yes.
Okay.
So, what this will do, it's not about just hip hop. It's about all music in general.
Okay. Good.
So there's jazz, gospel, whatever you think of, that's what it'll be about. So I'll start off with Mr. Forbes. How do you feel about the direction of music, the music industry is going in today?
Well, for me, I feel like the music industry is it's somewhat on a on an even plane right now. For most people, they think that it's on the way down and out, but of course we know music will never be on its way down and out. You have multiple genres in music right now that are still very successful, some even more successful than we would have seen maybe a decade ago. And others are suffering, their ill times right now. But the way I feel that music is headed back in the direction of independence. I feel like it's headed back into the direction where the independent talent receives more recognition for being what is always going to be that lifeline of the music industry. We look at these independent artists today, and they barely get the recognition they deserve. For me, I know I wrote an article the other day, and I let it off by saying, whenever you want to see what the future of the music industry holds for the consumer and for the other individuals out there in music today, when you see how that plays out, you always want to look at the independent artists, because they're always going to be an indication.
Custom made. Serious.
Entertainment in general is going out is they're naive.
Okay.
The problem that I see with the entertainment industry is that people are treating it like a popularity contest. It's the people that are treating it like a business, that this is their goods and services to provide, and take the time to make it not the same and conform to what everybody else is doing, to come out with their own new product, their own new sound. That's where it's going.
And that's true. And Mr. Forbes brought up something. Okay, we have another caller. Hold on. Caller, state your name and what do you do for a living?
Hey, it's Ron Forbes. We got cut off for some reason there.
Gotcha. That's cool. Well, I was asking you a question anyway. So, what do you think? Now, you said that it's in a better place than it was recently or in years prior. How about the talent?
Well, that's the, in terms of record sales, we see a lot of things that are changing. Okay, you take the Troy Ave situation, and then I'm sure you've heard about that, where the 30 physical copies sold in the first week. But what a lot of people don't look at is things change. things are continuing to change. Of course, 30 physical copies is horrible to the worst extent you can think. That's what it embodies. But as far as digitally, he did very well. Okay, now talent-wise, as you're saying right now, we have a long ways to go to get things back to that talent level. The A&Rs, the record labels, those individuals in charge of, artist development when the A&Rs aren't around, they're not doing their job very well, especially those who claim to call themselves managers. In every management contract, if it's a truly legit one, will always mention the development of the talent,
right, and
the artist continuing to better himself as an artist. And we don't have a lot of people that are helping the talent to progress nowadays. So, I think we got a long ways to go there. But in terms of the direction the music industry is going, I think with it shifting back into the hands of independent talent, I think it has a brighter future than we could have seen 5 to 10 years ago.
Right.
When things were kind of even more so on the way down. But one thing independent artists are going to have to do if this change is going to be as great as I think it can be, they're going to have to learn to stand alone. You got these independent artists out here, and they're still in a way no different than an artist signed to a major, because they're still utilizing the majors to get their music out there, which still leaves them with a 360 deal, which still leaves them dead broke and unable to control what's happening in their own careers.
So do you think that's because I'm gonna put it out there, it might sound bad, but that's what I do. You think it's because more mainstream, and I'm going to go to the hip hop side for a minute. Do you think that's because more of the mainstream, after about 2001, 2002, more of the mainstream record labels started pushing more pop into hip hop than hip hop into pop?
Well, the one thing that I noticed, and I don't know if we can call it a flat out discrimination against hip hop music or those involved in hip hop music. But one thing I have noticed is that the better and better and better an artist gets as a hip hop artist, they begin to be classified as pop. Now, pop being a secondary genre is something that just has to happen if you have really good music, because then that means it can cross over into that market. But
have you noticed that what they're doing, what mainstream is doing, is if it's not a good hip hop record, they're calling it a pop record?
Well, now the reason they do that, just to clarify.
Oh, no. Let me rephrase that. I said it wrong. If it's not a good hip hop record, they're calling it a hip hop record. If it's a good hip hop record, they're calling it a pop record.
Right, and the reason they're doing that is to discredit the culture of hip hop itself. You get an artist like Lupe Fiasco, they give him a totally different category. Common in his infancy into hip hop, he had a whole different category. Okay, backpack rapper or conscious, anything but hip hop, because the way that society itself, and this is why they do that, because society itself has bought into the propaganda. So you got the labels and the individuals in journalism who glorify the hip hop artist that raps about killing 60 people in a record, okay? And they call that hip-hop. And then you have the one who says, you know, you can be better, you can do better, you can live better if you think better and act better. And they say, oh, you're pop. Or you got one who makes a love record, you're pop. You know, and it's equally put in the hands of those consuming the product as it is placed in the hands of those who write about it and promote it.
Right.
You can't, you know, to me, you can't just blame the music industry themselves, because we as a people don't educate the youth too much on what hip hop can be. Ask a young kid today who's Public Enemy.
I can guarantee my son knows. But
right, your son may know, my son, you know. But there's too much of the youth out there. When your son leaves the house, you think he's going to listen to Public Enemy?
Oh, no, I hear what he listens to. Just like my parents.
Half of these kids,
I'm gonna be
half
honest.
of these kids don't even know who Sugar Hill Gang is.
Exactly.
Rage Against the Machine.
Right. I know who that is, too. Hell, Metallica.
Exactly.
Oh, yeah.
They don't know.
You know, you can take it to all different sides of music and ask these kids about these major generational influences.
Right.
And they won't know.
Right, because...
You know, you guys have both made so many points that I want to hit on. I'm sitting here shaking.
Okay, go ahead.
First of all, Mr. Forbes, I got to tell you, I like you. You have right on the nose about 7 different things that I've been saying for the last 2 years. And salute to you, because a lot of people don't have, and I forget what station we're on now, the balls to actually come out and say it.
Right.
All right? Number one, I'm a little old, so let me retrace my mental steps here. Back to what you were saying about the A&Rs. It goes a little deeper than that. These independent artists are being raked over the coals. Now, they're hungry, they're awesome, they've got talent, they want to manage themselves, and they're good at what they do, right?
Mm-hmm.
But they're not businessmen.
Right.
They're not business savvy. I have had guys come to me looking at me like I was trying to scam them because I told them the price of something and someone else had quoted them 5 times that amount, so they didn't believe me. You know, it's the promoters to the people that are doing the entertainment marketing to the whole rigmarole that these guys are not, they're doomed before they start, a lot of them. Because you're right. They don't know, okay, am I a rapper, or am I a hip-hop artist, or am I R&B? They don't know what they are anymore.
Right.
And it all blends together. And everybody is so concerned on making the same marketable, sellable sound that the guy before them did, that the independent part of an independent artist is gone.
Right. Hold on, we have another caller.
Okay.
Hello, caller. Tell us who you are, where you from, and what you do. Hello? Caller?
All right, well,
Okay, keep going.
so you hit it on the head, where there's like, okay, you're a rapper, but oh wait, you've made some money doing this, and you're a little better now, and now we're selling more of your stuff, so now you're a hip-hop artist or a pop star, because they're catering to the masses, and what people are doing is losing their individuality.
Mm-hmm.
But now there's a flip side to that coin, because, I mean, I've been telling people for about 1.5 years, before I met you, Terrell, and we talked about this too. I'm a big rock and roll fan. I mean, I'm not a music fan in general. I like movies. You know what I mean? I fell into this business by accident. And I treat it like any other service that's provided. You know, goods and services, point blank. It's a business to me.
Right.
And if you're going to try to make one thing sound like another, go all the way with it. Get a rock band that wants to play live music behind somebody who's rapping. Or your music, not cookie-cutter beats that everybody's doing. Okay, let me make the music first and then see what kind of lyrics I can put to it. No, you write it all out together.
Right.
Oh, okay. And the caller, just so you know, I'll do a little shout-out for her. That was Miss Queen T from Next to Blow Radio. She called in and hung up real quick because she's still at Chuck E. Cheese with the kids, and it's way too loud.
Okay. Not a problem. Hey, I'm a firm, as everybody know, I'm a parent before I'm anything else. So I'm a firm believer in taking care of your kids. Do your thing, man.
My son's sleeping right here next to me, so believe me. I already know. But to get back on point, there's a lot that's being done in this industry that can be changed, that can be done better, or can be screwed up and done worse. Mm-hmm. It's just a matter of having the right crew to put it together and do it the right way.
Right.
You know, these guys are not getting a fair shake because they've been raked over the coals by so many people. They don't have any money left. They have no budgets to do anything. How are you going to market yourself out of your hometown if you don't have money for a radio or television commercial or know people in different places to send your CDs to get them handed out or put into stores and things of that nature?
Right, because marketing, I'm not going to lie,
there's no network.
Costs a lot. Yeah, marketing costs a lot.
Mm-hmm. And that's the funny thing. It doesn't cost as much as everybody thinks it does. Just no one's had the budget to let me show them yet.
Right.
Right.
And that's another thing. Okay, and this is why I love this free-flowing what can we call it? Conversation. That's the best way to put it.
Sure.
Because now I can ask this. So for artists, and this is all artists, like I said, we're not just saying hip-hop or rock, even gospel. How much does it take to for someone to come in and say, okay, my single's not selling as well as it should? How much would it take to get that record to sell? I'll start off with Howard. I'll start off with you this time.
Well, the first thing I tell everybody, whether it's a commercial client for a business or an artist who I treat that like a business as well, that's their service that they're marketing. You got to pinpoint what their target demographic is. You got to pinpoint the areas that they're trying to break out in. You've got to target it you don't need to go and do a national scheme for advertising to get the kind of exposure you want if you're breaking out in the markets you need to be in. Mm-hmm. You know, like somebody in Cleveland might want to go to New York, Atlanta, Chicago, Los Angeles, Las Vegas, right? All you do is you get the zip codes. You get the zip codes of the cities they want to hit first, and you do it a little bit at a time. And I don't know if you remember the old. I'll tell you the easiest way I can remember. Remember how the old cell phone industry used to be? If you were a cell phone dealer, the commission would change every month depending on what specials they wanted to give out.
Yes.
Like you could make $25 this month. Okay. Well, the networks are the same way. Okay. Every month, when I have cause to, I get a new rate chart from them. Okay. And depending on where the person wants to be, I'll get those rate charts. Okay. This is what a 30-second spot on the radio or cable costs. This is what a 60-second spot costs. This is what their minimums are, or what do you want to do? And then we work it out, and we try to figure it out.
Right.
You know, but see, what a lot of people aren't doing is telling these guys that, and here's another big problem that I see in this industry, and Mr. Forbes, I'm sure you've seen this 1,000 times over, and this is not a hip-hop, rap, rock and roll. It's everywhere. You don't got to be out on the street doing stupid things to make money to make your own budget. There are people out there that will give these guys ways to make money to create their own budgets. But they don't want, nobody wants to do it. Nobody wants to hustle unless they're hustling something that is going to give them street credit, because that's what they think is more important than their talent. They got to be a badass on the corner in order to get street credit, so people will cheer them on and they'll have this big-ass crew, when the reality is, okay, who wants to go and book events for you if we don't know you're going to be out of jail from 1 week to the next?
Yes, that's good. That's very good.
Well, you know, to touch base on that, here's the thing, right? As he said, Rel, the artists, despite the fact that a lot of them may not have the budget to go full force. Let's be honest. The major labels are putting out $500,000 a campaign sometimes even more.
Right.
So, you know, their goal, in their mind, these artists are thinking I hate to say it, I hate to even use this term because I'm all about thinking big, but a lot of them are thinking too big right off the back. You know, they think that all of a sudden this record is just going to blow, and I hear that all the time. Man, yo, you know, I'm the dopest, and this record is gonna blow. I'm telling you, it's the, you know, for one, these artists have to start realizing that, as Howard said, you have to slow down. Look at what you want to do. Think of how you're going to get from point A to point B and all of the things in between. Then decide what you're going to do first in order to get there. And you can't take your time. Even Taylor Swift had a record out for maybe 4 to 6 months before some people even heard it. Okay?
Didn't know that.
Yeah, heard that Shake It Off record, that dropped in August of last year.
Wow. That's
well, let me tell you something also, and I'm going to tell you something. You hit something on the head there that that a lot of these guys don't realize either. Her people got some sponsors and came up with a dollar amount that I cannot disclose. And there are larger networks and what's the word I want to use here? Not sponsors, but entertainment industry contacts that will match a lot of that stuff. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
And they don't get it. They don't understand that, and they're too big and try to do it on their own, and they're too proud to ask for help.
Right, and that's an avenue and a route that I take my artists. I tell them, look, you know, start small, grow big. You can, you know, see, we utilized the route that you spoke about earlier, which is finding, you know, legitimate ways to get the money you need, not the street corner hustling, those types of things. You know, these artists think that that's going to get them somewhere. It's not, and you know we're pissing off everybody we know right now, right? Oh, of course, but I mean, at the end of the day, I'm not going to sugarcoat it for them, and anybody that knows me, they know that there's no sugarcoating, and I just told my Facebook and my Twitter fans to tune in. So let them come one, come all. Listen to it. This because we're going to. Terrell will tell you, I've never been a Willy Wonka either. Nope. Exactly. So like here's the thing, and another thing that you mentioned artists being basically afraid to trust you because you're charging them less, right? And that's something that I experience from time to time myself. See, my company has gotten to the point where we don't even look for artists. Artists, they come, they find us, they look for us. And yet and still, when they hear certain numbers, we tell them, hey, listen, we're not looking for you to try to, we're not going to ask you to come with a $10,000 investment into your music because I'm not going to stereotype, but 90%, 99.9% of these independent music artists are not working with that type of budget. Right. So we're here trying to help you and show you that you can work your way into putting that type of investment into your music over a certain period of time and get the same results. Right. But can I interject for 1 second? Yeah. I want to interject on one thing before I forget. The biggest problem with that right now is, and I have fallen victim to this many times myself, and I probably still will, when it looks too good to be true, it usually is. And when it isn't, they don't believe it. So when you go to somebody, like you're actually trying to put your time and effort and to help them, but hey, it's still going to cost this, this, and this. And in the back of their heads, they're thinking of the other people that told them 5 times that amount and tried to get them right off the rip. They figure, oh, this guy's trying to hustle me. He's just trying to get anything he can out of me, and then he's not going to do anything for me. And until that mentality gets broken, we're going to run into the same problem over and over and over again with a lot of these artists.
Yep.
But we got to blame that on another problem we have in the music industry right now, and that would be Exactly, the greed, the culture vultures, the ones who are out there to say, oh, you know, give me $500 and I'll put you on stage with Rick Ross, selling them a dream, knowing that nothing's going to come out of that. Rick Ross doesn't care who you are. He doesn't know who you are. You will not get a Maybach Music deal. That's probably what you think coming into this thing. Rick Ross is going to hear you and sign you or something of that nature. It's not going to happen. Forget about it. Then you have the ones who have these, you know, $200, $300, sometimes a little more, $500, $1,000, and I'll send you to, you know, XYZ amount of stations. What these guys are not realizing is these guys that are offering these types of services, they're nothing but vultures feeding off of
They are because there's no guarantees. All you can do is submit and hope the networks think it's good enough to go on their stations. And they're guaranteeing them play, and it doesn't work that way anymore. Same thing with music videos. I mean, they're charging these people outlandish amount of money. And they don't realize all they're doing is submitting it with a tracking number through software, and they pay a monthly fee to do so, whether it's 1 or 100.
Exactly. And you know, and that's something like I try to educate a lot of these artists about the music video. You know, a lot of them want to do these music videos off the bat. You know, a lot of money they put into these music videos they could be putting into the music itself, first things first. Secondly, when it comes down to the music video, a lot of them don't realize the power that radio actually has over video.
Well, of course. I mean, you remember the good old days when a song would make the charts first, and then they'd make a video for extra areas of exposure. Yeah. Because think about it. What is a music video? It is a 3 to 5 minute commercial advertising the song for people to go and buy the CDs or the album.
Right.
You know, and back to another point you made. Well, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. Another point you made. I have a group that they're actually all pretty damn good friends of mine. And right before we met, and it's funny you brought up the name, they paid a promoter $1,100 and something to go perform with Rick Ross, and I forget who else it was. I can't remember. And they went all the way down to Atlanta, and there wasn't even a show.
Yep. That's what they do. They feed off of those dreams. And you know, in terms of the music videos, and for all the artists listening, I pray that they have a pen and a pad, as Terrell says.
No, yeah.
Music videos are
take notes, people. The stuff don't come free.
Music videos today are more to be utilized as an element of reward. And by that, what I mean is this. I tell my artists this. If you have a music video out there that's automatic, unless you have all kinds of freeze frames and cinematic scenes in the middle and stuff like that. That's automatic free download, okay? Because, you know, that's the new era of piracy. That's the new Napster, okay?
Right.
SoundCloud and YouTube are the new Napster, but a lot of these artists have not paid attention to that yet. What I say to them is...
And I don't understand why. I mean, hell, I put commercials on YouTube that I've gotten more hits than I have on cable channels.
Wow.
Right, well, see, the thing about it is this, and here's how this whole thing works, right? You get a record that you put out there, right? Now, the artists themselves have put so much emphasis on the video and such little emphasis on the sales that now, if I was to type in their record, boom, 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 first thing I get is YouTube video. I don't get Amazon. I don't get iTunes. I don't get Google Play. I don't get Spotify. I get YouTube video.
And a lot of them, you don't even get the MTV service, so they don't even know it's out there to have their videos on their websites.
Exactly, right? So now, if the artist was to take another route, Okay, let's look at how Huggies, because sounds like we all have kids here. So now, I think we can all relate to this. When you have a newborn, all of a sudden Huggies knows they send you this one little diaper in the mail. Anybody got that?
Yes, I have.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
They send you that one little diaper in the mail, right? But here's the thing. They only do that because they're positive you're going to be having to buy diapers.
Right.
Now the diaper, we're using that as, you know, an example to the music video, that free diaper. That music video is the free diaper. We're not actually sure this consumer is going to purchase your music yet. So why are you giving them free diapers? You understand what I'm saying?
Yep.
So
Right, because they're marketing themselves as the best, and hey, we care. Take a freebie and try us out.
Exactly. Right? Now, for the artist, it has to be a slight bit different. Let's make sure the consumer is already purchasing, because that's what Huggies did. They didn't.
Right.
I can bet when Huggies first launched, which was probably back in our parents' days, probably even our grandparents' days. I'm not sure how long Huggies has been around. Either way, I can guarantee you they weren't giving out free diapers then.
I don't know. I know I was in cloth diapers, so I don't know about all that.
Right. Well, you know, the cloth diapers. We know how that whole era ended up.
Oh yeah.
People got tired of that.
Call
one.
them chafies.
Yes. But you know, but either way, when Huggies first launched, I can guarantee you they were more focused on selling the product than giving away that one free item for you to test. Okay?
Right.
And then if you notice, by the time you get that one diaper in the mail, it's normally too small for your baby anyway, isn't it?
Yep. So then you're curious.
Yeah.
See? So they make sure that you can't even use it. The artist is not paying attention to the true marketing.
No. They're doing it backwards. I know what you mean. They're doing it backwards. Give them a song. If they like the song, then you do a video.
Exactly. You know, you give them that record, and you see how they react to it from the other marketing aspects that are leading towards driving sales. If in fact they give you, see, I wouldn't even record a video unless the consumer paid for it. You've got to pay for it.
I know exactly what you mean. There's got to be revenue coming in already from the song itself before you put any more time or effort into a video. A video is not going to make a song any better.
It's definitely not, you know. And then half of the time you don't have a sizable enough budget to record the type of video that you think is going to get the type of attention or retention that you're expecting. So why not just wait until you sell enough records? Sell 100,000 records. Sell 200,000 records before you give a video. And I know a lot of these artists out there listening probably thought I was going to say, oh, you know, sell 1,000 records. No. Give yourself a chance. Sell a couple 100,000 records first.
Right.
And then give them a video as a reward for their support.
But, you know, on the flip side of that, I mean, I do understand that there is a large video presence. That's why a lot of people come to me just with pictures to make a slide, like a montage for them in order to get it on YouTube and things of that nature. But you know what? They don't have to spend to do that, to test it. All they have to do, I mean, I got a guy right now who, he's a very good friend of mine and part of my company and just, you know, a real stand-up man. He did a video I saw using 2 iPhones and a free editing program, and it looked better than half of the professional stuff that people are getting charged buku dollars for.
Yes.
You know, there's a difference between running a test and putting your time, I'm agreeing with you, putting your time, effort, money, and reputation, putting a music video together for a song that you don't even know if anybody likes yet.
Right.
Exactly. You have no idea if they even like this record. You like the record.
You notice I'm talking a little faster now, guys. You woke me up and you got the juices flowing.
That's what
Listen,
I'm hoping that the people that's listening, we do have listeners out there. I'm hoping that they're listening and understanding. We're giving knowledge for free, and that you won't find that. Go ask Jay-Z about what he did because he's going to charge you.
Right.
You know, and you just brought up another point, and I know this is a little off topic, but this is something that not enough people have tried, and I know I mentioned this before. Think of Walk This Way. Think of what Jay-Z did with Linkin Park, Numb. There's a lot of songs out there that are not enough. Somebody wants to go cross-genre, and they want to appeal to all markets, do some live music. Do some real music. Put some emotion into your lyrics instead of how much you sold this week and, you know, which hoe you slapped and blah, 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 blah. You know what I mean? That's all fine and good. The days of gangster rap is over, in my opinion. There's more white kids, Spanish kids, Jewish kids, all nationality kids listening to this music because it's what they like. It's not a color thing anymore, okay? This world would not be the same. If music stopped altogether, I think the planet Earth would just blow up.
It
would explode.
You know what I mean?
I know I'll be on the shooting screen.
And I just think that if you want to appeal to the masses, keep your individuality, but do something different. Do something that people have done once or twice as a test, feeling it out. Look at the responses that these songs had.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, Jay-Z didn't blow up until he did that with Linkin Park.
Yes. He had a nice thing going for himself, but that crossed him over. Now you got him doing Forever Young and the record with Alicia Keys, and that I think that opened up his eyes to if I start really crossing over here, forget the hard knock life and all the things he was doing back then. When you look at once he did that Linkin Park, that collaboration, in which I do believe they crossed over into a whole album after that.
They did.
And they meshed their both of their albums together, and made one full album of Jay-Z mixed with those records.
Right.
Now,
by the way, Mr. Forbes, I don't know if Terrell warned you beforehand. I'm a very opinionated guy.
That's fantastic. That's what makes better for the listeners. I'll just say a couple things to get it right off the rip because I know a lot of people out there that are listening. Anybody who says that, I'm not a racist or I don't have anything that I don't like or is a liar. Everyone has a racist thought in their head at least once in their life. Everybody has at least one type of person, whether it's just assholes. I'm racist against assholes. Yes.
You know what I mean? I don't see color. I see black and white on paper business, okay? And I see that, hey, if me and you were both out playing ball together and I skin my knee and you bust up your elbow, guess what? The bone's the same color, so is the blood.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay? So all these guys, all this racist shit that's going on is all bullshit in my opinion, okay? You got your racists and you got your not racist. It has nothing to do with cops. It has nothing to do with this. It has nothing to do with that. It has to do with stay on point. Be who you are. Stop trying to be what your friends want you to be. Like I know guys that I'll sit one-on-one with, I mean, and then they're like family, but you get them around their friends and right away it's sent you, boy. It's like, boy, I will smack you.
Hey, Howard, Rel.
Yes.
You guys want to hear something really, really hilarious?
What's up?
Go for it.
As we're speaking, right? I get a message come to me. I have an open spot opening up for Meek Mill and Nicki Friday, July 17th at Gexer Energy Pavilion, Dallas, Texas. The spot is $250 for a 15-minute performance set. With the spot comes 10 VIP tickets. If interested, what's your number? Now, isn't this what we were just talking about?
Yep.
Straight up vultures. Now, here's the thing, right? All he really wants to do
give me a contract and a copy of your driver's license, and we'll talk.
Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well, I want to know where to find you.
I got a half a nerve now. I don't know if Rel told you, Howard, but Now, myself, I'm very much so the kind of guy that might tell this individual to call into the show. And I'm thinking about doing it.
Go ahead.
Yeah, let's get him to call in. We're on the radio talking about guys like you. Why don't you call?
Well, you know what? Let's give him the benefit of the doubt. If he's got the proper paperwork and the proper, all the shit's in order that's verifiable. Sometimes I know these things are legit, but doing it on a handshake and doing it on a because I said so, those days are over if you've got a brain in your head. Write that down.
Well, here's the thing. It's not so much that I'm not believing that these.
No, not you. I meant not you. I meant the people listening.
No. I was saying, as far as whether or not it's legit, that's not my issue. My issue is you have these talented artists out here who deserve to be paid, not to be paying to be on stage.
Right. Well, I'm going to pay you, and I'm performing.
That's a very, very dirty coin, and there's two sides to that I have run into so many times already, and it's almost like to me, not to me, but to the way a lot of these guys think. To them, it's no different than paying for a commercial. They're paying for the exposure until they think in their heads they deserve to get paid. Dude, you guys are out there busting your asses. I don't care if you suck. If you're getting on that stage and jumping around and rapping, singing, whatever, your heart out, you need to get paid for your time. You ain't going to no karaoke bar.
Right.
Exactly. But the other, as you said, with there being two sides to that coin, yes, you're paying for the exposure, but at the same time, none of these guys will bother to tell you that with that $250 right there, you can pretty much take, let's say,
that $250 right there, they can go get themselves a newspaper ad, do a show in their backyard, and charge $10 a head.
Right.
Exactly. That's what I was about to say. Or you can take about let's see here, 8 times that, and book a major artist of your own.
But that's the problem. They're in a rush. Everybody's in a rush.
Yep.
And the saddest part is I have seen, and I won't go into details, people that have gone platinum in their pasts save all their money up to buy a big venue to do a show that they're going to pack out and not put $1 into marketing and advertising and wondering why 5 people, including the DJ, are at the show.
Exactly. You think you got these guys out here, and I've had clients like that in the past. See, I'm as far as myself, just to let you know, I work alongside the artist. I'm working with them to help them better their knowledge and better the way that they market and promote themselves. That's what I do.
Right.
Okay? Now, I've actually had artists in the past literally force me to send them out on tour or force me to set them up with certain events and so on and so forth. And when I say force, it's because it's their decision.
It's not in your heart to tell them they're not ready, is it?
Oh, no, that's why I said force me.
You don't know this
because
guy
I told them. I told them they weren't ready.
Corrected.
Right? I said, listen, you don't have nowhere close to the buzz necessary to have your own tour. Oh, well, I don't want to be performing here, and I don't want to be performing there. I said, but you're getting paid to do it. Oh, but I want my own show. Okay, you know what? Is that what you want? You got it. I remember setting up a tour for one of the artists that I was working with because, again, he forced my hand. The numerous amounts of time I tell him, you're not ready, you're not ready, you're not ready. But at the end of the day, it's not my decision, Howard.
Right.
It's his decision.
Right.
It's his career. So you want it?
Right.
You got it. I set him up an event. First mistake he made, I had it set up to be a Grand Hustle Gang and Brick Squad Monopoly event in Atlanta. You don't get any better than that. You have the two most major recording companies a part of the event. You know what he says to me? I had it set up to where Big Country King from Hustle Gang was going to come out and get this, open up for him. Well, I don't want Big Country King there. I said, what? I said, you're not from Atlanta.
And throwing him out of my office.
Yeah. I said, you're not from Atlanta. How are you going to set up an event in Atlanta and not have one of Atlanta's very own major representatives in the building? No, I can do this by myself. Don't worry about it. I said, okay. Well, let me get the advertising budget, and I'll start running your advertisement. I'll get you set up early, so that way you get a better rate, and so on and so forth. And I set up his advertising. Right. I set up his street promotions, and I let it fly. Sure enough, on the date of the first event, it was 17 degrees in Atlanta, something barely heard of.
My God.
17 degrees. And
those names that you mentioned were the only ones that probably would have gotten people there.
Exactly. So now you have to go to an event in which you expect people to show up to see you, who is nobody, sir, in 17-degree weather. Okay. So he gets there, and of course, as you said, about 5 people there, including the DJ. Nobody shows up. Okay? You just pissed all that money down the drain. Okay? For an extra $1,000, you could have had a major artist on the bill.
Penny wise and pound foolish.
Wow.
Penny wise and pound foolish.
Yeah. I mean, because, at the end of the day, I do have those types of connections. So they gave me pretty much a friendly price. Especially they didn't have to leave their own town. Whenever I said I bring the artist to you, I won't make you come to the. I'm gonna bring the artist to you. So that way you're there, you're home. You wake up in the morning, you do whatever it is you need to do for the day, and then you just show up, you perform, and go.
Wow.
Right.
So he had it.
Hey, at least I had an excuse. I had an excuse. You're going to laugh at me on this one. I just had to cut you off for a second because you're going to laugh so hard at this one. Remember I told you I got into this business by accident?
Yep.
Yeah.
I had my first venue set up down in Atlanta, and my boy Antoine, he's part of my company. He's my partner in just about everything I do. He also has a management company down there. He's getting artists, his artists. I've got artists. Everybody's got artists. We're so concentrating on the artists. Everybody gets down there. It's show night. Guess what we forgot?
Radio promo?
The DJ.
Oh.
Wow.
No.
He called me up, cursed me out, hung up the phone, called me back 3 days later, like normal. I'm sorry for yelling. You're an asshole. You will make this up to me.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
I know commercials. I didn't know anything about this stuff at that point. I didn't know about lighting or security or DJs or any of that stuff. And it ended up, he just, after yelling at me, just started laughing his ass off at me. Because it's like, really, dude? He's like, really?
Did they do it a cappella?
Huh?
Did he do it a cappella?
Well, let's put it this way. He's one of the few people on this earth that get away with talking to me like that, and the other one passed away on April 20th, and that's only because he and I served together.
Right. Wow, that's amazing. So, let me get back to...
I'm sorry, go ahead.
That's okay. We'll get back to the final question because we're going to 6:30. Okay, so as true lovers of music, most of us are historians, and you have to be a historian to know where you've been and what you've been through. Do you feel that the recording executives, A&Rs, and promoters need to be historians as well to promote the music?
100%.
Yeah, I agree.
100%.
Because,
you want to go first? Or you want me to?
Now I'm going to explain something. And the reason I ask this question is because I have a feeling most of these promoters, record labels, and things of that sort have no idea where I can actually put it out there and say who was the first hip hop artist to ever break mainstream, and I bet you they can't tell me.
Probably not.
No.
I doubt half of them even know who Deborah Harry is.
I doubt it too.
But to really hit that on the head, I think a lot of the people that they're listening only for marketability. They're listening only for, and let's say what everybody else in layman's terms, sellability.
Right.
They're not looking at the artists that put emotion into their work. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I can sit there and, like, hell, I was joking around and wrote a verse the other night and put it up on Facebook, and it was better than half the shit I've heard on the radio lately.
Right. Trust me.
You know? But I was in a mood, and I've got a lot going on in my life, and I took it out on everyone in that because, yes, okay, and everybody can judge or say what they want. I really don't care. I write poetry.
Oh, that's how you start rap. That's how I started off.
But unless you've lived life and been places, done things, good and bad, and really put yourself out there to where you've almost lost everything, you don't know shit. Yeah. Half of these guys are out there rapping what they heard about their older cousins and brothers and uncles have done, but that makes them hard. They have no emotion in what they're saying. And these A&Rs are looking at them like, okay, well, we can sell that robot.
Yep.
Those days are gone, man. Those days are over. I want something I can bop my head to again, tap my feet to. I don't give a shit if it's rock, rap, reggae. If it's music, it's music.
Right.
These guys have forgotten that. Oh, man, that's a hard beat, but we got to make it one note different from the other guys so they can't copyright infringe us, and then we'll throw some different lyrics. Man, screw that. Come up with your own shit. Why don't you learn to read? Do you know how many rappers, and this is no disrespect to any of my friends that will know who I'm talking about. Do you know how sad it is that these guys are, and you can call it whatever you want, rapper, vocalist, whatever, just singers.
Pretty much.
Or they're supposed to be, and they can't read a note of music.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, I know exactly what you mean on that. I have, because I'm also a music producer, and I have a lot of artists that may contact me and say, hey, I want to beat like this guy or beat like that guy. And I say to them, well, why did you contact me? Because I'm obviously not the guy that made that beat. Or I'm obviously not the one to contact if you want something like that. If you want something like I make, then you contact me. The guys, right, they do that because they don't know music. So they don't have no idea how half of these rappers, singers, you name them, they don't even know how the music is put together.
No.
They don't know.
All they know is those little trap or EDM cubes that they get on their tablets or on the computers and just hit the buttons until it sounds like what they can do lyrics to.
Exactly. And here's the thing, right? This is one thing that this was about a few weeks ago, I believe. Rel will confer if I'm right. There was a few artists that I had to break down to them what songwriting really is.
Oh, yeah.
On the air.
Yeah.
Because they're submitting records, and as I'm listening to these records, I'm saying to myself, holy crap. Like, this sounds nothing like an actual song. You hear the same... See, they try to mimic what they hear on the radio, and although what we hear on the radio is god-awful a lot of times, what these guys don't understand is there's still a structure involved. Their songs are still professionally written, as ignorant and ridiculous as they may be. They're not just a bunch of ignorance that was just thrown on the paper. They were strategically written to make you love the record. So
because
these
they
guys
put emotion into it.
Exactly. Not just emotion, but,
Song
contrast.
Right.
Ask an artist, where's your contrast? They'll say, what? What do you mean? Where's your contrast? Even if they have it, they wouldn't know they did.
Oh, I know what you mean. You're talking about, because a lot of these guys come out there and they'll do a whole freaking rap and it's completely monotone.
Exactly.
But the beat changes, they don't.
No switch.
Right.
Okay, and then but you don't. You
forgot the most famous one. You forgot the most famous one.
Which one is that?
Huh.
Listen, and then you ask them a musical question, and they can't answer it. And so you say, well, why are you making music? Why didn't you study first?
Right.
They don't think that a lot of these rappers are educated, or a lot of these singers and songwriters they hear on the radio are educated, but they are. They pretend to be ignorant because they want to rap about those things. They dress like that because they want to appear to be like you. Meanwhile,
they say
there's nothing
mimicry.
like these.
They say mimicry is the most. They say mimicry is the most sincere form of flattery. But in this industry, mimicry just makes you a poser. Guys, you got to wake up. You've got to wake up and start doing your own thing. I know some people right now that, and I'm not saying, for that any reason, just in general, that have more musical talent in one finger than some of you who could probably blow them away, but you're afraid to do something different than what the guys are doing.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
Yep.
And you got to, and I know I keep going back to this, when I say emotion, I mean that in a lot of different ways. You can't sell something that you don't yourself believe in.
Truth.
And a lot of people, scam artists can. I can't. I know a lot of people that are in a lot of different industries that they succeed because they believe in what they're doing. Mm-hmm. So, when you go through your hardships, when you go through, damn, what are we eating tonight? Spaghetti and freaking cut up hot dogs again? Or
we
got any dry cereal so the kids... Yeah, do we have any dry cereal to give the kids give the kid a snack in the morning? Or how the hell am I going to pay my light bill? Or my friend just died? Or my old lady just left? Whatever it is that you're going through in your life, take what you're feeling, enhance it, and put it into your music.
Yep.
Exactly.
Do something that you can sell because, and when I keep going back to sell, if you believe it and it's real, and you're putting it into your art, and you're putting it into your talent, and you're letting, just like painters do. They let their expressions come out in their paint. Just like when I get aggravated, I let it come out in my poetry. You know what I mean?
Yep.
Poetry and rap ain't shit different.
Nope.
Do the same thing. I know some guys right now that are going through so much shit, they should be platinum already.
I hear that.
Tell me about it.
All right, you preaching to the choir there.
Look at Lunch Money Lewis. Have you guys heard any of his records yet?
Nope.
Who?
Lunch Money Lewis. Have you heard any of his records yet?
No.
No, I have not.
Okay. Here's see, and I said that in a way knowing that I can ask that question to 100 people and 90 of them will say they've never heard of Lunch Money Lewis. But here's the thing. This guy is taking over the airways. See, Terrell knows that I have a lot of inside contacts and a lot of inside communication with the music industry. So, as far as Lunch Money Lewis, before he even came out, I knew who he was. And he used the same concept that you just mentioned. Taking his everyday life and put it in a record. He said, right. I got mouths. I got to feed. And he's just talking about paying bills on a record.
Right.
Just like you said the exact same thing. He was literally talking nothing about paying bills. And this guy is selling a ton of records. Matter of fact, watch this.
Because he can relate. Because people are relating to him on a personal level. Where what a lot of these other guys are putting out there, nobody knows what the hell they're talking about half the time because they aren't living that kind of life.
Exactly.
And they don't.
And most of them aren't either.
And you, it's one thing, and I'm gonna get to this one.
I don't know what to do.
Next summit, where our kids, our people are listening to this, and the reason we call it dumbing down is because they're not enunciating their words. Half of them sound like they failed out of kindergarten. Some of them sound like they so peeled up that that's just the way they talk because they can't finish the sentence. And that's what you want.
See, unfortunately, I can't relate to that because I'll put my son on the phone, and Jordan, I hope you're listening because you're supposed to be. He makes me sound like an idiot.
But you get what I'm saying.
Yeah, I do.
And then what happens is the kids start mimicking them.
Exactly.
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Let me correct that real quick on one last note. My son makes me sound like an idiot. My daughter knows I'm an idiot.
So
all right, there we go. I got that out.
Yeah. So what were
Okay. Now, Jeff Brown is in the chat room as usual.
Yes.
And he just said, "Who the hell is Lunch Money Lewis?" So that's out of 4 of us, that's 75% right now. And if one more person came on, I'm sure we bumped that up to about 83. That's 75% of the people right here listening to this conversation that don't know who Lunch Money Lewis is.
So,
but now,
so you know what that means, don't you? Tonight on 3 Coats, I'm gonna have to play Lunch Money Lewis.
well. Here it is, and you should, because his music is pretty good. He has another record called Bills. Okay, here's Bills right here. Guess what? Y'all ready for this?
Okay.
Jeff Brown, I hope you're listening right now. Okay, on the top 40 charts, building by rank. This was the week of April 26th through the 28th. As I said, Howard, I get, there's nothing that's going on in the industry right now I don't get. Okay? So here's Lunch Money Lewis right now, and then this is literally in my email. I'm not on the internet somewhere searching for it for those people listening. This is what I do. This is what I get on a regular basis. Okay? That particular week, he had over 662 spins on the radio.
Wow,
nice.
The week prior to that, he had 753. Okay, now the fact of the matter is, pretty much nobody's heard of this guy. Okay,
right.
Now I'm gonna go to his impact. Okay, to pretty much right before he even hit the radio. Okay, 1.2 million Spotify streams.
Wow.
500,000 combined YouTube views. Number 13.
Hey, how do we get that for the show?
I'm telling you, this guy is this is our to break down what I do even more. Like I take my inside knowledge and I give it to the artist, and I help them understand what they can do, and if they can't do it for themselves, I will help them do it. Okay, so he was number 13.
There needs to be more people like that, man.
Yeah, he was number 13 on the Shazam charts, U.S. Future Hit chart. Okay, number 13. That means people, when they heard his record on the radio, guess what they were doing? They were whipping out their phone and saying, "Who the hell is this guy?"
Yep.
Okay, he was already being played, and this was this was March 4th. Notice I mentioned his record for April. What was that? 26th, I said.
Yes.
Okay, this is March 4th. He debuted at number 38 on the top 40.
Dang.
Oh wow.
Okay. On March 4th, and April 26th, he was still being spent. Okay, his record was already playing at 102.7 Kiss FM, Z100 New York, Sirius XM, Hot 99.5, 101.3 KDWB. I mean, I can name them all. Okay, this is the type
Hey, I'm a Brooklyn guy. When I was living in New York, Z100 was the station we all used to cruise around to. That and
he's already
KTU.
playing on there.
Wow.
He's already
That's good.
playing on.
That's really nice. That's impressive.
Right? But nobody's ever heard of the guy. So,
well, let me tell you, can I give you an
record?
opinion on that? I want to give you an opinion on that real quick.
Yeah.
And this is the main reason that I haven't mentioned any names except for business associates on here.
Okay.
I know artists from, oh my God, Vegas to Chicago, New York, Atlanta, Houston, here in the Gulf Coast, in Pensacola, Alabama. There's too many. You know what I mean? And some of these guys are just so talented, but they don't have the right people behind them to get them or point them in the right direction to get them those kind of numbers.
Right. And you know what I'm going to say to that, Howard? They need to be listening to the show.
Yeah, they do.
That's one of the things we do for underground artists. One of my things that I do is when we play if you on hot or not, you have to be listening in the chat room to the show. That way.
Oh, so this is where I do my little stick? Because this week only, we're going to give you a buy one for twice the price for... No.
But we do that.
They need to listen instead of thinking that they know it all.
Exactly.
And are the best and are this. They have to say, hey, this is what I can do. I want to be better. Can you help me?
Exactly.
Right. But now, guys, I want you guys to hear this. Hear this. See, what we have to start, I don't want to use the word convince, because we shouldn't have to convince somebody to want to be successful. But I'm going to use the word anyway. We have to start convincing these artists that you don't have to be well known to be successful.
True.
They're too busy worried about fame. This is what leads them to the major labels. This is what leads them to the screwed up situations that they always end up in. Now, this guy is a perfect example of you can fly under the radar and rack up on a ton of cash. And, you know, as Howard mentioned, this is a business. So if you're not making money, you're doing a lot of things wrong. Mm-hmm. So you should be making money off of your music. So when I mentioned racking up on a ton of cash, because you should be racking up on a ton of cash, 1.2 million streams, if at a minimum, let's see here, that's 1,200,000, right?
Right.
At a minimum, at least he got himself a nice little $500 check.
Yeah.
But, you know, of course that's nothing. But
it's still not claiming a loss.
Right. And if he has 1.2 million on there, what does he have everywhere else? So those $500 checks start adding up very quickly.
Yeah.
What about RDO? What about Slacker Radio? What about Deezer? You know? What about
the rest of them? I mean, a lot of these guys don't even know how to go about getting part of. I mean, and I'm not too up on it either. With the different unions and the different things that are out there to make sure they get their royalties and all that good stuff. They don't know how to do it, and nobody's around. Or nobody will advise them the right way, and they're all getting screwed, and it's a shame.
Right, because people would rather not advise them, but take control, because when they have control, they're winning.
Yep.
You know what I always tell artists? A lot of artists come to me and they say, "Oh, you know, why don't you invest in me?" And you know, and we split the cash and yada, yada, yada. I said, see, that is the problem right there. Put your own coin down. Keep 100% of your money.
That's right.
Stop looking for people to invest in you. If you truly believe in yourself, you would make the investment. And then you would be loving the fact that you didn't have somebody. I told him, I said, listen, you signed a contract with me for me to put your record out there. Your record goes out under me. I collect all of your money. I hold it for a little bit of interest. I got to keep some form of you know, income off of that, and then I got to get, you know, what might be, you know, what I might get hit with in taxes and so on and so forth. And then by the time you get the money, you're only seeing a small percentage of it. And it's not because I want to keep all of it. It's because I have to. Because
I'd rather be the guy to just invest a little bit of my time and the time it takes to write you out your invoice where you pay me like a bill.
Right.
Exactly. You know, because I don't want to be the guy that's taking all of your money.
Right. So
Because
go ahead. I'll let you finish. Wrap up.
No, the Jew in me won't let me repeat that sentence. I'm sorry.
Listen, I think Howard is exactly right. I'm going to repeat it for you. Let somebody that has the capabilities to market and promote your product on your dime, and then you will reap all the benefits of the success of that record.
Right.
Don't go hunting for somebody that's going to put money in, because it doesn't. A lot of times, you can win on a minimal investment.
Right.
It doesn't
Instead of
always
being
have to
locked
be the
into a percentage
maximum.
that you don't know what dollar amount it's going to be.
Right.
Exactly. If you put $1 in and you make $3 out, okay, you just up yourself 200%. You know what I mean? So why are you worried about?
You're 100% right. I'd rather be the guy to write you out an invoice for $1,500 until you make $150,000.
Exactly.
As long as you keep coming back to me for the same $1,500 invoice. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's how business is done. Guys don't realize that. I have no problem, and a lot of the people that are in this industry, the good people, have no problem giving that little extra oomph, that little extra time, that little extra service. As long as they know they got a client that's going to be a client.
Right.
That's not going to just, okay, do all this and then I'm not going to pay you, or do all this and then, let's work it out in percentages. That does not put food on the table for anyone.
Right.
You've got to be able to invest in yourself in order to even come to anybody and ask for a little extra or have them invest in you, whether it be time, money, or anything else. Yeah, see, my kid, he agrees. You heard Bobby. He agrees.
Logic put $500,000 into his own album. Look at how it blew. A lot of people think a major label did most of that for him. No, he put $500,000 of his own money into that.
Look at most of the major guys that are out there now. They're self-made.
Right.
Yeah, they got a break. They got breaks here and there, as in like in the right place at the right time or knew the right person or whatever it is. But they put themselves out there to the point where they almost had nothing before that ever came to be. And
Right.
that's where they got their respect.
That was more of a breakthrough for them than a break.
Right.
So I do have.
They invested in themselves.
And we
Exactly.
And I want to ask you too, because next month because this is going to be a monthly thing. So next month on the 18th, will you two be able to show back up? Because I'm actually next month going to have actual artists in here with us as well.
Did you even ask me that question? Don't I have to be?
Hey, I'm just making sure. Because
you know, once you mention artists being here, I'm definitely there. I get to yell at somebody.
well, they won't be performing.
Oh, yeah.
They will be in the forum and seeing their side of the story and how they see the way they see things, or how they feel it should be done, or how they thought it should be done. This is, like I told you before, this conference is going to get bigger and better as we go.
All right, most definitely, yeah. But I'll be there for sure.
Okay.
Definitely.
And what I'll do is I'll start sending out the information earlier, because we also know I have a lot of other crap on my plate. But
yeah.
Go ahead and
and I'm working on some. I'm working, and now that we have more time, I'm working on some. And after this one gets out there, I'm pretty sure I'll be able to have some nice surprises for everybody.
Cool, that works for me. So you guys give you a shout out before we get off of here.
Okay, well, first, before we get to that part, Mr. Forbes, if you can, could you please send Terrell a couple of good pictures of yourself, because I'm going to take the audio from this, throw some pictures together of all of us, and then put it up on YouTube.
All right, we'll do.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
What? I didn't know what was going on. I thought you asked to say something first. Go ahead.
Well, I thought we were.
We're wrapping up because I got to eat dinner, y'all.
Okay. The dinner shout out. All right. I'll start it off.
Shout out. No,
All right, guys. This is yeah. This is a shout out to my kid who's giving me a dirty look because he can't get his SpongeBob to give him this chocolate milk. I'd like to give a big shout out to everybody who supported this, who pushed us to make it go forward. Keep a lookout for Keeping It 100 TV. And you're going to hear a lot of big things from us. And, if you guys need anything, I'm always around. Decisive Marketing and Advertising isn't going anywhere. And to all the labels, all the independents, and all the people out there that, are part of this crew or part of this tight-knit crew that are friends and family that are, really pushing to build something here. Salute to you, and next time, get off your asses and call in when I give you the damn number. That's my shout-out.
That's right. Now, well, I want to say a shout-out to my wonderful, beautiful wife who actually hooked me up with dinner while we were talking. In your face, Terrell Branch.
Oh, man.
I was eating the whole time, guys. Holla at your boy. But yeah, so... But, definitely want to give a shout-out to all the artists that, did tune in. And a shout-out to Jeff Brown for always being on that, side of the element and, always looking for more information. And as we progress, I hope I have a lot more people to shout out, but for today, that would be it.
Okay, and what I'm going to do, I'm ending this show with a song from one of Mr. Forbes' artists. The song is Killing Hip Hop, and what is the artist's name? Go ahead and shout him out.
Nostalgia.
All right, but before you do that, hold on. One last thing I forgot. Barbara, I love you, baby. Get well soon, and I hope you come home soon.
Oh, God bless. God bless.
So, yes, this is Nostalgic with Killing Hip Hop, and we will see you later. Hopefully you tune in for 3 Coasts. Later. Peace.
All right.
Peace.
Right.
You ready? Yeah, I said to make it in this game, boy, I had to change my mind state without becoming victim to that crime rate. I got my mind straight and always kept my head sharper. I did that by listening to the best barbers. I'm talking Tupac, Nasir Jones, and Mr. S. Carter. My CD case was like the Black Harbor. The lessons of these ghetto professors I still harbor. Cause Nas gave me one mic, Pac told me keep my head up. Jay said somehow, some way, I gotta make it. I took that in somehow, some way, I gotta take it. Cause nothing's ever given in the world of success. You bound to hear more no's before you hear that one yes. And it sucks cause the game ain't the same no more. And nowadays they don't see talent the same no more. I never seen this many lames in the game before. Gabe said clear the game out, I say no more. Oh, that ain't all, I love my track, but ain't sign me. You kill it, hip hop, hip hop. You kill it, hip hop, hip hop. You kill it, hip hop. You ain't like that song, but you signed them. You kill it, hip hop, hip hop. You kill it, hip hop. You should lose your job, that's word to hip hop. Y'all look into the game and all I see is identical. Black males rapping about guns is so typical. So black males sitting in jail is the reciprocal. Man, they too content, I'm in the reach of my pinnacle. We only got these 16s to show that we hot. So you gon' waste them bars, talk about the shit you ain't got. Cause y'all the type to buy a Gucci belt and ask your mom for gas money. Put it on the Instagram and claim that it's trap money. So you try to teach the kids how to ride. Man, I'm trying to teach the kids how to drive. I'm teaching them how to live, teaching them how to die. So when they end up on the news, my man don't look surprised. Cause this not the music that they listen to. This is the type of music, man, that's gonna get them through. See, I into making music that's gonna lead them to the casket. I'm into making music that's gonna lead them to their master. For that ain't all, I love my track, but ain't sign me. You kill it, hip hop, hip hop. You kill it, hip hop, hip hop. You kill it, hip hop. You ain't like that song, but you signed them. You kill it, hip hop, hip hop. You kill it, hip hop. You should lose your job, that's word to hip hop. For that ain't all, I love my track, but ain't sign me. You kill it, hip hop, hip hop. You kill it, hip hop, hip hop. You kill it, hip hop. You ain't
You are listening to GlobalUrbanAssaultRadio.com.